right, folks, welcome back to Gamdud Brewing. Today, it's exciting. We're gonna do my first ever grain to glass. The people have spoken, they want grain to glass action, so here we go. We're gonna do a smash pale lager. Okay, we're just gonna do simple 20 pounds of 2-row, and then I'm gonna use a new hop, new to me, Emerald Spire. Now you're saying, what? You've used that before. You dry hopped the Italian Pilsner, you split the batch, whatever. Yeah, that was like, for me, not that long ago. That isn't done yet. I haven't brewed with it yet. This will be done before the Pilsner's done lagering. So, we're gonna use the Hang 'em High hops, Emerald Spire, link in the description. Go buy some Michigan hops, Michigan Hop Farms. They're doing big things these days. But we're gonna try it out and just use that. You guys know what a smash beer is. We wanna see what these hops are offering, because I have an idea for it. My niece wants me to make her a beer, and I'm gonna go over that whole process with you guys on beer request, beers and stuff. But I want to see, I got a feeling that by the descriptors, this will hopefully accentuate what she wants in the beer. So what better way and what better excuse to just do a quick smash beer? And you might be asking, why do a lager? Because I have lager yeast ready to go. That's why. I just transferred the Italian Pilsner I was just talking about. So, I mean, got a perfectly good, delicious yeast cake. That beer tasted amazing when I transferred it. So, yeah, we're just going to lager it. We're going to do a pressure ferment, though. So, it's going to be like, fast, like ale temperatures. 14-ish PSI. And then we're going to see what this sucker tastes like together in this video. Grain to glass. Buckle up. Let's get into this brew day, shall we? All right, folks, you've seen the exciting montage of setup preparation, grain weighage, grain millage, and now we're getting ready to mash in. Smash beer. I haven't done a smash beer in a long time. And I'm just going to go ahead and do 10 gallons of it, because why not? So hopefully it doesn't suck. But simple, I can't remember if I said the grain bill, but I'm doing 20 pounds of just Breeze 2-row. And then hops, Emerald Spire. Michigan grown hops. from Hang 'em High Hops, Emerald Spire. Should be super juicy. Peach, white grape, watermelon, bubblegum. We'll see. That's why we're doing the smash. So 20 pounds, 2-row. I'll throw the water profile up on the screen. It's been so long since I did a smash. I kind of wanted to, in case I want to do any more, this will be my base smash. It's a little different too in that I'm doing like a smash lager. Because I'm just thinking like clean, let the hop shine. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's what I'm doing. What else? Oh yeah, I'm mashing 60 minutes at 156, and then we'll boil, and I'll get into the hop schedule when we, do that part. So buckle up. It's gonna be crazy boring, but it's a smash beer, and I'm excited about it. So let's do it. With the nice and slow and methodical grain in, mashing in, not even the whisper of a dough ball. Some people out there, Kurt, think that you should just go fast with the mashing in. I disagree. Take your time, stir, enjoy the process, Kurt. Now, where in the hell did I put my auto sparge stuff? Here we go. Start the recirculation. I doughed in at 167 to hit 156. It's kind of warm out today, so I may have went a little high with that, but we'll see. So we'll let that settle in. Once I get near my 156 resting temperature, I'll start my timer. And that's that. You guys know the routine. All right, 60-minute mash complete. We'll do a 15-minute rest while we get the sparge water heated up to 171. Wort is looking really clear. Let's have a look-see. There it is. I mean, it's you'd expect with 100% base malt, but still like to see it. Next up, sparging. I'll sparge for like 60 minutes or so. Nice and slow. Let those sugars work their way through the grain bed. And then we'll start the exciting hop additions. That's your update. right, folks, we're just now coming up to a boil after that exciting 60-minute sparge. I'm going to keep the camera rolling just in case we have a boil over. But right after that excitement, we're going to go right into a 60-minute Emerald Spire edition. Emerald Spire is coming in with 8% alpha acid, 1 ounce, 60 minutes. This is what we're going to start with. Let's see what this boil has in store. This hot break, I should say. I don't add any firm cap or any of that stuff. That just spoils the excitement. Let's start by turning it down to 70%. Ooh, it's still, I'm gonna kill it. Then we're gonna stir it. Stir that break in. Usually after that first hot break, we're good to go. But I have had it boil over after on a rare occasion. Let's go ahead and drop in our 60-minute edition. Set our timer. And we're off. Next one will be 30-minute edition. Another ounce of Emerald Spire. Exciting. As predicted, we settled in to a nice little rolling boil. No boil over, happening. No boil over worries. Now, when you drop in hops, that can, cause like some kind of cascading nucleation of some kind that will cause a boil over, but I did it with the element off, and it didn't do it. And then something about, I think like the oils in the hops actually helps with the boil over. I think a lot of people do first wort hopping for that reason. But yeah, either way, we're going now. I bumped it up to 75%. I'm happy with that roll for right now because I'm going to clean out the mash tun. I'm going to be stepping away, so after I've finished the cleaning up that I can do, I might bump it up to 80% and get a little more vigor on that boil, but that's not bad. I like it. You like it? Get in the comments and tell me how awesome that boil is. All right, another ounce of Emerald Spire going in 30 minutes. There's the old Brew Father timer. We'll go ahead and chuck the old jaded chiller in as well. I'm going to turn it up to 100% because this is going to kill the boil a bit. It's okay. But also, Trying to get it hooked up before it gets super hot, which it does really fast. The old jaded is super efficient at conducting heat. So probably could have gotten this already beforehand, but totally forgot. We'll do it now. There we go. "30-minute addition in, chiller in, almost back up to a boil already." Normally I'd put the chiller on top and let the steam kind of warm it up a little bit, but I'm already pretty much back up to a boil and it's been about a minute, so not even worth resetting timers and whatever. So that's where we're at. See you at the next thing. All right, folks, we're coming up on the 10-minute edition. Emerald Spire. Single malt, single hop. Smash Fest. Smash Fest is going down. 3 ounces at 10 minutes. We're really trying to push the hop character. Let's see what this Emerald Spire brings to the party. The main reason is I have a request in for a beer that we'll get into when I go to brew it. But there's my timer. But I wanted to see if this hop really brings what they're talking about. So we got 3 ounces going in. Hefty hop drop. Yeah. Exciting stuff. I also have yeast nutrient going in at 10 minutes as well that I just remembered about, so I'm going to weigh it up right now. For my 10-gallon batches, I pretty much do across the board 2 grams of this yeast beer nutrient blend. I've been using it almost since I started, so seems to work. Maybe it does nothing, I don't know, but cheap insurance for the yeast. Two grams. I always weigh all my additions because I feel like it's more accurate than teaspoon, tablespoon, bowl crap. I'm sure that works fine too. It's just what I do. I might as well weigh up my Irish moss addition, which again, I don't know if anyone uses Irish moss anymore. I think enough of us still do because they still sell it. But I think most people switched over to Warflock, which I believe is just like a pure pure Irish moss or something. But again, I've always used Irish moss, so that's what I do. So for that, I usually do, unless it's a style that doesn't, you know, you don't want clarity, Hefeweizen or New England or something. I usually do across the board for my 10-gallon batches, 10 grams of Irish moss. That's how we get down at the Game Dude Brewery. I usually add that in at 5 minutes. But I'll add it in now because I'm already recording, and I actually used to add it in at 10 minutes and then I switched to 5 minutes because I probably heard something on a podcast or something, but I haven't really noticed a difference. So this one will go in at like 6.5 minutes, 7. We'll say the Irish moss goes in like a 5 to 10 minute window. So we're covered. So, I mean, that's it until we go to chill. Or no. I have a Whirlpool edition. I'm doing 3 ounces of Emerald Spire. And I'm whirlpooling it for 10 minutes at 170. I know. It's crazy. But that's what we're doing. So stay tuned for that. I couldn't help it. It fit. When it fits, you can say it. All right, folks, we're at the end of the boil. So let's kill it. While it's still nice and hot and sanitary, we'll go ahead and check our boil off with our super accurate gauge. Right at 12.5, so 1 gallon per hour boil off. Perfect. All right, so now we're gonna open up our valves for whirlpoolage. All right, let's start the whirlpooling action. We'll get that spinning, get our water turned on, get it down to 170. Oh, also what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change over my Easy Boil PID from percentage to mashing. Mash, and then I will set it to 170. Now this is tricky because the jaded really chills it down quick, so I gotta watch my temp. Sitting at 207 right now. There we go. Jaded. activated. Get those hop bits back in there. We got a nice whirlpool going. I'll show you in a second. We're already dropping down at 200. $195. I'm going to try and stop it a little early too, so it'll kind of settle in. 185. 180. 178. 77, 76, 75, 74. I turned it off, still going. 173, 172, 171. 170. Dropping in 3 more ounces of Emerald Spire. Set our timer. It's set for 60 minutes, but quick math, carry the 50 minutes. We'll stop it for 10 minutes. 169. We're just chilling at 169. I won't turn on the element unless I need to. 68. I think if I'm in the 165 to 170 range, I'm cool with it. But so there's that. Let's see if we can get a shot of the whirlpooling action. Get a nice whirlpooling action there. All right, so that's where we're at with that. We're 168, everything looks good. We still have 8 more minutes of this, and then I'm gonna chill down the rest of the way. And yeah, so see you then. All right, folks, we're coming up on a minute left in the whirlpool. Gimbal mode has been fully engaged. I changed on the fly the fermenter situation. I'm not pitching on top anymore, but I am still using 3470. But I was thinking, I'm like, I don't want it I want it fresh, untainted yeast, which I might be overthinking it. It wasn't really tainted, but I had an open fermenter, clean, just had to do a quick sanitize, and yeah, we got it all going. So we're gonna go fresh. We're gonna pitch 3 packs of 3470 and really just see what this hop has to offer. 10 seconds left. We'll start the chill. I'm not really sure what my groundwater's at right now, but we'll get it as close as we can, transfer it over, and if we need to, we'll do the rest at the fermenter with the glycol chiller. We're gonna ferment under pressure, so we're gonna do regular ale temperature, 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, let's start chilling. Chilling the wort, that is. We're at 154. The gimbal mode has picked me up even though I left. How awesome is that? DJI technology. We're at 150. I just went and felt the the water that's going out into the yard. It's still warm, so we're exchanging thermalness. I tried to sound smart and then I ended up sounding even dumber. There's my Brewfather timer, which is off because I started it late. But I had my timer going up here. So we've got full backups for when I get distracted and forget. So we're good. Inkbird vacuum sealer. It's a game changer for hops. And maybe malt too. I don't use it for malt, but really lets you keep those hops fresh longer if you're buying in bulk. All right, we're at 130. So you're up to speed on the fermenter, the chilling, all the stuff. So I will show you when we start transferring and then pitching the yeast. Awesome. All right, folks, we're back. For you, it was instant. For me, it was a couple of minutes. So that's the power of editing, ladies and gentlemen. We're at 171. We're close enough. We're going to start transferring over. So all I need to do is flip this lever. Lever, engage. There we go. We're transferring over. No leaks. That's good. All the appropriate valve closage has happened. I already said that I'm pressure fermenting. I'm using my spike spunding valve. I put this little airlock in the blow off just because when I do the aeration, I like to see that something's happening. So I'll use the carbonation stone to aerate it once we've hit the appropriate temperatures. Let's turn on the Inkbird for this fermenter. Cool, it's already set at where I want it. So we're gonna start chilling. Let's make sure the chiller is working. I'm seeing some bubbles because I disconnected it to clean it. Doesn't seem to be moving. That's not good. There we go. Seems to be moving really slowly. Make sure everything's on. It says it's cooling. Here we go. We're seeing some bubbles come up. It's still a lot slower than I'd like it, but let's make sure we're not kinked anywhere. Don't see any kinkage. Fully connected. Ooh, we're getting close. It's fully distracted. We're getting close to shut off. Shut off the jaded water. I've been known to forget that. We got a nice pile of hop debris down here. Boom. Let's take you over. Take you over and show you the cone of hop debris we got down there. Decent amount left behind, but we're also going to have a decent amount in here, which is all right. Okay, so that's where we're at. We're at 69.6, which we're good enough. See that little bubble there? It says we're cooling. That bubble right there tells me that we've got a little problem. This side's nice and cold, but we're not returning. Which tells me that maybe our pump down in the chiller is not pumping very well. It is doing something though, because this side's cold. I don't know. Might have to dig into the chiller. So I'm going to start cleaning up, and we're going to give it a minute, see if it starts moving for us. Probably pitch the yeast. I'm going to pitch the tilt and pitch the yeast here coming up. Purple tilt, which everybody knows is the color for lagers. Purple tilt going in. Watch battery dying. Let's go ahead and pitch the yeast. Three packs of 3470. Oh, you know what? I want to aerate first. Almost forgot. So we're gonna go 2 minutes at one flow, whatever the one means. That's what I do. Or 1. Two minutes. So what have you guys been up to? Really? Cool. Oh, still no movement on the chiller. I wonder if there's a little airlock issue. Okay, I'm seeing bubbles in my little temporary airlock, so I know that the oxygen made it through the carb stone. So we are oxygenated. 2-minute timer went off, went the wrong way, was shutting it off. Awesome, I'm gonna shut the valve for the airlock. And now we're gonna pitch our 3470. Three packs. I also forgot to do my Whirl Pack sample. So that's not an option now, even though I'm sure the yeast hasn't already made it. It's just floating on top. It's tainted. I would have liked to have taken it before I pitched the yeast, but I'm a little out of practice. But whatever. There it is, yeast pitched. I'm gonna clean up, and since this is gonna be a grain to glass video, my dogs are gonna bark their asses off at something. But I'm gonna see you in the future for a tasting of this beer. See you then. Actually, before I see you then, I should probably tell you that I hit all my numbers. 1047 original gravity. I think I was shooting for 1046, so we're good there. pH is good. Yeah, forgot to say all that, but so now I'll see you in the future. Not just like a couple minutes in the future, like a couple weeks in the future, hopefully. And we'll taste this beer and just see if it's magical or not. See you then, folks. I'm back again. Quick update on the chilling thing. I did have, it looked like there was a little bit of an airlock from when I disconnected it. But I just turned it off and turned it back on. I saw the bubbles kind of work their way through, so I do need to get in there and make sure. I think there might be some little kinks somewhere between the chiller and the fermenter, but it is working. It chilled it down. It actually overshot it a little bit, so the heater is on. So there we go. Tragedy averted. But I do need to get in there and just, when I'm in between batches, make sure there's no kinks and everything's good. Added a little bit of sanitizer to my spunding valve just so I can see, when the bubbles start happening. Other than that, we're set at like 12 to 15 psi. And once again, we'll see you at the tasting. Unless I think of something else that I didn't tell you. Other than great brew day. All right, folks. We're about a week in to the fermentation on the Smash grain to glass Emerald Spire. Just cleaned off the old camera lens because I was looking a little blurry. Hopefully it's good now. Although me being a little blurry probably isn't a bad thing. But like I was saying, we're a week in. Primary fermentation's done. It's cleaned up. And I was getting ready to do a trub dump, and then I remembered what the guys in the club were talking about. How they do the pressure ferment trub dump. So, guess what I got? What all the cool kids have. Let's open it up. Whoa. Check it out, folks. Look at the knob on that. Can't remember what it's called. Diaphragm valve, maybe. And why they dig it is because full pressure, you can just slowly dump out the trub while it's under pressure and not have an explosive disaster like Big Dog. I'll put a picture up right here. Look at him. Yeah, we don't want that. So, we got this with a gargantuan knob. Another thing I was thinking, what I want to do is, like, put pressure on it while I'm dumping the trub to try to maintain that, whatever it's at, 12 to 15 pounds, to try and keep all that carbonated goodness locked in, even though I'm changing the pressure, by dumping the trub. I'm thinking if I keep the pressure on it while I'm dumping the trub, there'll be less pressure differential shock, forcing CO2 out of solution and other deliciousness from spunding. So that's what I'm going to try and do. So let's try and do it. Another thing I'm wondering is when you're just barely squeaking it out, will the trub come out. I think it will. All the guys in the club seem to dig it. Well, the guys that use this thing. And it's under pressure. And it's not like the trub is like a solid cake of stuff. Hopefully not. It looks like it, but really it's just like mud. I don't think this thing has a direction. I doubt it. I don't see why it would. Look at that thing. Hang on a second. I'm gonna have to twist it so I can freaking open my valve. This is brand new experience. You guys are coming along with me to see all the mistakes and everything. Yeah, that'll work. Let's make sure that's shut. Look at that setup. Here we go. There's the dumping setup. Now, let's get it to where we are adding some pressure onto this bad boy. Let's see. Let's turn that on. It looks like we are at 11.5 psi. So we'll set the old Kegland digital gauge. To 11.5. Hook it up. All right, let's see what this does. Can you see from that angle? Let's get a better angle. All right, there's all the trub stuff. So this is closed. Crack it ever so slightly. a little bit of movement. Crack it a little more. I'm cracking it very slowly. Set up on the tripod. Uh-oh. Just had a little probably should have talked to one of the guys first, but you know me. It's too excited to try it. I'm kind of thinking that I probably should be patient, but I know it's getting hung up on the little clumpage. I was just saying that it wasn't clumpy, but I betcha. I mean, there is some viscosity to it. So it's like it's log jamming at that diaphragm right there. There we go. See that? Patience. If I wasn't sitting here recording and talking to you guys, guaranteed I wouldn't have been that patient, and it would have been an explosion, I bet. So, thank you guys. I should say this is how I do. This works out great for me in most beers. Obviously, if you do a beer that has a bunch of dry hops or takes a little longer for everything to fall out. But really, this has kind of worked for me across the board, now that I think about it. I'll dump the trub until I see it pretty much clear in the sight glass. Shut it down. And then everything else, you know, whatever's stuck to the cone up in there, or the bits that are still, because I haven't cold crashed it yet. When I crash it, all the bits and everything will fall down, and it rarely gets to like where my pickup tube is. This will fill all back up with all the stuff from cold crash and everything, but it'll only get to like right here, and that leaves me with maximum beerage. So there it is. Quick little update on the trub dumpage. The new valve worked great. Pressure stayed. But anyways, we're still good. So I'll crash it in a couple days. It should be like pretty much carved, especially how I like it. So we'll be doing the glass part of the grain to glass up next. For you, it'll be instant. For me, it'll be days. All right, folks, we've made it to the future. Finally, we've got the glass portion of the grain to glass pale lager. Emerald Spire, you just watched all that stuff. I just got done editing what I could up until this point, so I'm going to try and make this quick because the video is way too long. And if you made it this far, thank you. but I doubt anyone will make it this far. So let's get into tasting this. Hop smash, so who cares what it looks like, but it's really clear, pale ale looking. You can see it. Looks awesome. So let's see what we can smell. First thing I'm getting is kind of like a piney, classic pale ale, piney smell, but with fruit too. It's like pine, juicy fruit gum, maybe some kind of melon. But yeah, it smells delicious. What else am I getting? Maybe like a little grape. Oh, it smells good. So let's go in for a taste. Yeah, like grape, juicy fruit, like that flavor. How to explain it? The smell is kind of like coming through in the flavor, like a mixed berry flavor with a little bit of that pine bitterness. The beer ended up being it's really smooth and dry and actually pretty balanced, I think, with the bitterness and that single malt. Yeah, it's a really good summer drinking lager with that little bit of fruity. Fruity pine. I might be getting a little bit of peach. If I am, it's like way in the background. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's good though. It's a great hop. I can't wait to try like mixing it with some other hops to kind of like boost the fruitiness. Oh, another thing. The bitterness is nice and smooth. Yeah, it was 8% alpha acid. And you just saw the brew day. I did it all over the place. So the bitterness is there. Nice and smooth. It's a dry, crisp lager that just makes you want to keep drinking it. I mean, what more could you ask for? If you want to check out the hops, I'll put a link to Hang 'em High hops in the description. If you're in BrewTubers and you want to try it, get a hold of me. While I still have it, I'll can some up and we'll see what you think. And maybe I'll revisit it to see what other people think about this hop. I still have a lot of it, so I'm definitely using it again. It's a delicious beer. It's probably not going to last very long, but the video's long enough. I'm going to let you guys go because you're probably sick of seeing me. So thanks for watching. Remember, support your local brew pub, support your local homebrew shop, and we'll see you in the next video. Cheers. thought one of these buttons like stopped the recording. The H.